Big news coming in with regard to the Kerala story, a controversial film set to be released on the 5th of May. And this is not about Kerala, but actually about adjacent Tamil Nadu. Intelligence services have issued an alert to Tamil Nadu saying that release of the Kerala story in the state of Tamil Nadu will lead to widespread protests. The Kerala story, scheduled to release in just the next 2 days, has already gone through several cuts. And there have been, of course, whether it's the asking for a ban in Kerala or in other places as well, deeming the film controversial, which talks about brainwashing, manipulation of girls who've been pushed into terror organizations, and that it is inspired from real stories. In Tamil Nadu, there could be widespread protests, says the intelligence services issuing an alert to the southern state. Pramod Madhav joins me from the state and from Chennai right now. Pramod, good morning. It's very interesting, isn't it, that the film is primarily based, or so it says, as a Kerala story, but it is in Tamil Nadu that there could be protests. What is the reason, any clarity that you're getting on why the intelligence services have made this mention?
Good morning, Pooja. This is something very serious that the intelligence service has given an alert, because normally when such movie comes forward, already protests occur and only post which the state decides to go ahead with it. But before even such protests could go ahead in the state of Tamil Nadu, intelligence service has issued an alert about Kerala story, which is scheduled to be released on 5th of May. Similarly, it's happening in Kerala as well. Now, the DMK government is already known for taking inputs from intelligence service and banning movies such as Da Vinci Code earlier also. But right now, the state is only going through this particular alert given by the intelligence service, and a call is only to be made either today or tomorrow, Pooja.
Pramod Madhav, please keep tracking all the latest on that. Who possibly are planning to organize widespread protests even before the film has been released, and why? The intelligence services have issued this alert to Tamil Nadu that if this film is released in your state, there are likely to be protests, and therefore walk with caution about the film. The filmmakers are urging to watch the film and then react, and don't ask for a ban already. Sudipto Sen's The Kerala story has already been in controversy even before its release. Now the Central Board of Film Certification has asked for some cuts in the film. Also, the 32,000 claim of women being and joining the ISIS has now changed to about 3 women and their real-life stories. This film, even before its release, has got into a controversy, but the filmmakers are urging that do not decide before the film has been watched. Here are some of the updates.
Its initial trailer declares in bold letters that the film is inspired by many true stories. The initial caption called it a never-told-before true story.
मैं अकेली नहीं हूँ इस खेल में. मेरे जैसे हजारों लड़कियाँ हैं जो अपने घर से भागकर इस रेगिस्तान में दफन हो चुकी है.
A movie that certified itself as a truthful account landed in controversy. Multiple voices from Kerala disputed its initial claim that thousands of women from the southern state have been recruited by the Islamic State terror group.
This is a global agenda. हमारे ex chief minister ने बोला है कि अगले 20 साल में केरला Islamic State बन जाएगा.
The political heat over Sudipto Sen's film, The Kerala Story, has been intense. State Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan called the movie a Sangh Parivar propaganda. Congress came down heavily on it over claims that 32,000 women from Kerala have been forcibly converted to Islam.
उन्हें करीब लाओ, खानदान से जुदा करो, दुश्मनी रिश्ते बनाओ, जरूरत पड़े तो उन्हें प्रेग्नेंट करो और जल्द से जल्द अगले मिशन के लिए हमें हैंडओवर करो.
Before its scheduled release on Friday, the Kerala story faced accusations that it aimed to instigate religious unrest.
हिजाब पहनी एक भी लड़की के साथ ना ही कभी रेप होता है, ना ही कभी कोई उन्हें छेड़ता है, because Allah always protects us.
And now the Central Board of Film Certification has ordered quite a few cuts on the Kerala story. 10 scenes have been deleted, some dialogues tweaked, and some alleged disparaging references deemed sensitive to religious and political ideologies removed. The filmmakers have apparently made a climb down. The Kerala story now being promoted as a true story, not of 32,000 women from the state, but 3. When asked about dramatic changes, the Kerala story's director Sudipto Sen called the initial 32,000 figure arbitrary. Nonetheless, he still sought to defend the Kerala story's controversial plot.
32,000 ये नंबर इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है। हाँ, हमने फिल्म ने बताया जरूर कि 32,000 क्या 32,000 से ज्यादा लड़की गायब हुई है। हमने ये नहीं बोला कि आईसीस पे चले गए। ये लड़कियां कहाँ है और कहाँ गया है, कब गया है, इसके लिए हमने एक आरटीआई भी फाइल किया था। हमारी आंकड़ा क्या है और हमारी आंकड़े की सपोर्ट क्या है, वो मुझे लगता है वो फिल्म देखने के बाद ही आप लोग जाने तो अच्छा है।
In the meantime, the Supreme Court has declined a petition seeking to halt the Kerala story's release. The plea argued that the movie constituted hate speech and audio-visual propaganda. But the top court advised the petitioner instead challenge the Kerala story's certification through the appropriate forum. Bureau Report, India Today.
Allah chalata hai. Only Allah.
Co-presented by Star Health Insurance, the health insurance specialist. Powered by Jaguar. Discover the magic of smart lights.
Today is the 3rd of May, just 7 days now to go for Karnataka elections, but just 5 days for election campaigning. And now the biggest political flashpoint in the southern state is Bajrang Dal. That is because the Congress party, remember, on Tuesday released a manifesto where they mentioned, just like the PFI, anyone spreading hatred against any community will be banned, including the Bajrang Dal. And since then, there has been a huge showdown in the state. BJP stated it's not Congress manifesto but made by pro-Islamic outfit PFI, which was banned by the Home Ministry. BJP workers and leaders hit out at the Congress party, claiming the move is just a retort to the centre's ban. Bajrang Dal workers also jumped in on the streets and started to organize protests across the country. They chanted Hanuman Chalisa outside Congress headquarters, burning down Congress manifesto in Mangaluru as well. But while Prime Minister Narendra Modi led the charge against the Congress party, other ministers and BJP leaders followed. Interestingly, though unrelated, another leader has jumped into this over the Congress party's promise, and that is AIMIM's Asaduddin Owaisi. Owaisi has said the problem with Congress party is they tend to make a lot of promises but do not fulfill. They had even said and had pledged to build the Babri Mosque after the demolition, but it never did it. And now they are going after the Bajrang Dal to say they will ban it. Will they really do it?
बजरंग बली की एंट्री हो गई है चुनाव में। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र आप लोग के मैनिफेस्टो में बजरंग दल पर बैन लगाने की बात है। क्या ये कांग्रेस के लिए बड़ी गलती होगी?
कोई गलती नहीं है। हम जो भी करते हैं सोच विचार करने के बाद करते हैं। जो हम समझते हैं कि हमारे संविधान के तहत उचित है, हम वो करते हैं। किसी को कोई नाम देकर किसी और से जोड़ना हम नहीं समझते हैं कि वो उचित होगा। आप राम के नाम पर, भगवान के नाम पर, वाहेगुरु के नाम पर, अल्लाह के नाम पर गलत काम करते हैं। अगर गलत काम करते हैं तो आपकी जवाबदेही तो होती है इस देश में, क्योंकि संविधान जहां तक आपको जिस सीमा तक जाने की आज्ञा देता है वहां तक आप जा सकते हैं, उसके आगे नहीं जा सकते।
ये ध्रुव सक्सेना जिस दल के हों, उनको आप मेरे आराध्य देव हनुमान जी से कंपेयर करेंगे, बजरंग बली से कंपेयर करेंगे? ये रक्षा करते हैं हमारी। मोदी जी आपसे भी यही रक्षा करते हैं हमारी। इनसे आप तुलना कर रहे हैं बजरंग दल की। बजरंग दल की तुलना बजरंगी से करें और हम बर्दाश्त कर लेंगे? ये अपमान नहीं सहेंगे हम। कैसे अपमान कर सकते हैं वो बजरंग बली का हमारा?
कांग्रेस पार्टी जब बाबरी मस्जिद का डेमोलिशन हुआ था तो डेमोलिशन के बाद कांग्रेस पार्टी का एक रेजोल्यूशन है पार्टी का कि हम दोबारा वहां मस्जिद बनाएंगे। समझिए आप, जब कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार थी उनका रेजोल्यूशन है उनकी पार्टी का कि हम बाबरी मस्जिद को वहीं बनाएंगे। क्या हुआ वहां पे फिर? अब कांग्रेस पार्टी बोल रही है, देखिए चुनाव से पहले तो बहुत बातें बोलते, उसके बाद क्या होता आप देख लो।
Leading the charge by the Bharatiya Janata Party was Prime Minister Modi himself. He was in Karnataka and he brought up the issue that Lord Hanuman's birthplace is considered to be the Anjaneya Hills in Karnataka. Here's what he said about the Bajrang Dal ban.
कांग्रेस पार्टी ने अपने मैनिफेस्टो में बजरंग बली को थाने में बंद करने का निर्णय किया है। पहले प्रभु श्री राम को ताले में बंद किया और अब जय बजरंग बली बोलने वालों को ताले में बंद करने का संकल्प लिया है। यह देश का दुर्भाग्य है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी को प्रभु श्री राम से भी तकलीफ होती थी और अब जय बजरंग बली बोलने वालों से भी तकलीफ हो रही है।
So, if you're wondering what exactly happened over Bajrang Dal, here's what the BJP and the Congress are now in a war of words over Bajrang Dal, which is a Hindu right-wing outfit. Now, here's what the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress said. The Congress basically said in its manifesto that we will ban the Bajrang Dal in Karnataka. The BJP immediately retorted, said, after you locked the Lord Ram, referring to Ayodhya, Congress now wants to lock the Lord Hanuman as well. This was said by Prime Minister Modi, and therefore suddenly it got spurious comments from all other netas and the workers. Now, the Congress party said the action is against all hate-mongering groups, irrespective. The BJP said the ban is primarily because, as the Congress party mentioned, that there was a ban on PFI, the radical Islamic outfit. That is why they want to go after the Bajrang Dal as well. Now, the Congress party again reacted and constantly said during the manifesto release that the Bajrang Dal violates law and order. As the reactions came in from the Congress party, the BJP said, looks like not a Congress manifesto, but a Muslim League manifesto is how the BJP retorted to it. And then finally, the Congress party, releasing the manifesto on Tuesday afternoon, said action against Bajrang Dal will be as per law. But the BJP said the Congress party is freeing the PFI members who are currently either in custody, who've been jailed, they are being raided, and that is why they want to go after the Bajrang Dal. This is why this issue ahead of elections has become the biggest political flashpoint, apart from Bajrang Dal workers already out on the streets as well. Let me now bring in my colleague Shilpa Nair for the latest on that on the ground. Shilpa, there should have been development, infrastructure, education as the poll promises. Instead, the fight is over the Bajrang Dal. What is the sentiment on the ground? How has this become the big issue? What is being said? But importantly, will this have a connect in Karnataka? Is this religious polarization, so to say, going to work?
Well, Pooja, the Congress, in fact, had made several promises in its manifesto, but what really caught the headlines is the fact that, the Congress has promised to take decisive and firm action against individuals or organizations which spread communal hatred in the society, irrespective of the religion or the community that it represents. So the Congress said, well, be it the PFI or be it the Bajrang, that we'll take decisive and firm action, which could also mean a ban on these organizations. Now, the BJP, like you rightly pointed out, you listed out the charges and the counter charges that the BJP and the Congress has been leveling at each other. But on ground, we are, of course, trying to understand what kind of an impact will this have, because the Congress now fears that in coastal Karnataka, there could be some impact. The coastal Karnataka is where the Congress had gained some ground. So whether or not this...
Shilpa Nair with the latest on that, and I'll go back to her in just a short while. Remember, our colleagues on the ground as well, constantly tracking reactions and are gathering more information about what the final countdown looks like in the southern state. 5 days to go for election campaigning. That means it is the final chance of the bigwigs of all parties that are currently camping in the southern state. There's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, who've been holding rallies, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, Rahul Gandhi. This is apart from the state leaders who are currently, of course, going door to door to appeal to the voters. But what's happening apart from trying to reach out to the voters is the gali politics, abuse politics that has taken center stage. Bharatiya Janata Party filed a complaint against Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge and his son MLA Priyank Kharge for their allegedly derogatory comments against Prime Minister Modi. Claiming the Congress party is running a smear campaign against Prime Minister and to malign his image, BJP is now demanding that both this father-son duo shouldn't be allowed to speak in the rallies anymore. Meanwhile, Election Commission had to eventually issue a poll advisory to all the star campaigners of all political parties. This clearly because of the plummeting level of campaign discourse in Karnataka. The advisory states that the Election Commission is asking candidates to exercise restraint in their utterance, maintain high standard of discourse, debate real issues and provide a pan-India perspective in local discourse. Listen in now to what the netas have to say about all the issues that have reached abuse politics now.
ಮತ್ತು ನೀವೇನಾದರೂ ತಪ್ಪು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಿ ಮೋದಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ವಿಷದ ಹಾವಿದ್ದಂಗೆ ನೀವಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ವಿಷ ಅದ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೋಡೋಣ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೆಕ್ ನೋಡೋಣ ನೆಕ್ಕಕ್ ಹೋಗಿರಿ ನೆಕ್ಕರು ಸತ್ತ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದು ವಿಷ ಅದಾನೋ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಮೋದಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಣ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೋಡೋಣ ನೆಕ್ ನೋಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆ ವಿಷವನ್ನ ನೆಕ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಮಲಗೇ ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಲ್ಲೇ
ಮೊನ್ನೆ ನೀವು ಗುಲ್ಬರ್ಗಾಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ನೀವು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಬಂಜಾರ ಸಮಾಜದವರಿಗೆ आप सब लोग डरिए मत बंजारा का एक बेटा दिल्ली में बैठा है अंत ऐसा नालायक बेटा बेटा तो कैसा होता भाई घर कैसे चलेगा हाँ मत ನಾವು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ ಯಾರದೇ ಮಗ ನಾಲಾಯಕರು ಇದ್ರು ಮನೆ ನಡೆಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಹೌದಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವರು ಬಂಜಾರ ಸಮಾಜದ ಏಕ್ ಬೇಟಾ ಹೇ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊಂದಲ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಬಂಜಾರ ಸಮಾಜದವರಿಗೆ ಅನ್ಯಾಯ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಆಗಿಲ್ವಾ
ऐसे क्लेम्स करे भड़काने वाली कोशिश करे और एक तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति के तहत विशेष एक समुदाय को अपील करने वाले के लिए इस प्रकार से बयान भी करे या इस प्रकार की घोषणाएं करे हम इसकी घोर निंदा करते हैं और स्वागत करते हैं कि माननीय इलेक्शन कमीशन ने जो चेतावनी दी है उम्मीद करते हैं कि कांग्रेस पार्टी और उनके नेता इसका इज्जत करेंगे।
Big news coming in from the state of Maharashtra. Hours after Sharad Pawar quit as the NCP chief, now there's a big revelation in his autobiography about the Mahavikas Aghadi alliance, and the take is on Uddhav Thackeray directly. He has said in his book, Uddhav Thackeray failed to quell the discontent in the Shiv Sena. Sharad Pawar, who was until now had 24 long years of reign as the NCP Supremo, has now said in his book, Uddhav resigned as a chief minister without even putting up a fight. It was a lack of political deftness that was seen by all in Uddhav Thackeray. He did not anticipate the storm within, and this is what Sharad Pawar has said, that after what has been unfolding within the Mahavikas Aghadi alliance, he did not anticipate the storm that is brewing within the Aghadi alliance as well. This is big news, remember, because this is Sharad Pawar after resigning from the NCP's Supremo position and will likely either have Supriya Sule or Ajit Pawar heading the party. He has taken on Uddhav Thackeray, saying he failed to quell the discontent within his own party, resigned as Maharashtra CM without putting up a fight. There was, and others also sensed, a lack of political deftness in Thackeray, something which a chief minister needs to have, a strength, a will. It was expected there will be attempts to destabilize the Mahavikas Aghadi government, but we did not anticipate that there would be such a storm within the Shiv Sena, and that was due to Uddhav Thackeray becoming the chief minister. These are big words, remember. Are we looking at any sort of a rift within the Aghadi alliance, that they are together? Because right now there's no other option. But when Sharad Pawar says Uddhav Thackeray isn't able to manage, what does it mean? I want to quickly bring in Pankaj Upadhyay in Mumbai for the latest on that. Pankaj, you tell us. You've been covering Maharashtra politics for years now. How should one see Sharad Pawar's comments about Uddhav Thackeray, specifically hours after he steps down as the Supremo of the NCP?
Pooja, these statements definitely have the potential to weaken the very foundation of the Mahavikas Aghadi. And at a time when definitely some sort of a churning is being seen in Maharashtra, Right now, we have Rajinder Shigne here, NCP member who's come at Silver Oak because many NCP leaders are coming in after Sharad Pawar announced his resignation. Several NCP leaders have been coming in. Now, Rajinder Shigne is yet another NCP leader. Perhaps he'll be coming out and give a statement. But coming back to your question, Pooja, this statement, the revelations by Sharad Pawar, as I said, definitely have the potential to weaken the very foundation of the Maha Vikas Aghadi government. And at a time when yesterday Sharad Pawar in his very speech had said that now is the time when the baton should be passed to the newer generation and the decisions that they take and the murmurs doing in Maharashtrian politics that perhaps Ajit Pawar has perhaps political leanings towards the Bharatiya Janata Party now. And of course, Sharad Pawar also revealing that during the time of the formation of the Maha Vikas Aghadi government, the Congress was in a very indifferent mode. Perhaps, questions will now be asked. Let us get to Rajinder Shigne now, the NCP leader, and listen to what he has to say now after meeting Sharad Pawar.
तुम्ही आज शरद पवार भेटण्यासाठी आलेला होता काय तुमचं म्हणणं आहे कालपासून एकूण जे वातावरण आहे त्यावर आज सकाळी साहेबांकडून काही प्रतिक्रिया मिळाली
आज आदरणीय पवार साहेबांची भेट माझी नुकतीच इथे झाली.
All right, we will continue to track this big news coming in. So if the surprise was not enough of Sharad Pawar stepping down from his position of the NCP, it is now a bigger news that he has taken on Uddhav Thackeray. Will Uddhav Thackeray respond to it? What will happen to the Maha Vikas Aghadi alliance? All of this is happening, remember, when it was opposition unity needed. But ahead of 2024, the cracks are they clear more than ever. We have news coming in, and these are shocking visuals from the state of Bengal in Murshidabad. There were TMC that was indulging in clashes among each other. Different groups of the Trinamool Congress threw bombs at each other, and these are residential localities. Ahead of Panchayat elections, two factions of the Trinamool Congress allegedly clashed with each other in the Bharatpur Panchayat area, and this was in the Murshidabad district. According to sources, the clash started over the area domination, basically who controls that territory, and bombs started to be hurled. And I just want to reiterate, bombs means these are locally made bombs that were thrown at each other's groups quite a few hours before the police had to even intervene. The bombings, which started at midnight, went on till a huge police force finally reached the spot and took over the situation. Anupam Mishra joining me with the latest on that. Anupam, this is absolutely shocking. I can see these are clearly residential areas. And just to get this clarity, both the groups of the Trinamool Congress. So then what are they fighting about?
Actually, Murshidabad has always been known for these kind of violent clashes, and we have seen in the past that crude bombs being used and hurled at each other during political clashes. And these political clashes erupt mainly because of control over the area. And these two groups, according to sources, belong to TMC. And the situation started getting tense after one group started to control more area, dominating more area than at least 10 to 12 crude bombs being hurled at each other. And it went on for quite a few hours. And when a huge police force intervened and reached there, then the bombings, they have stopped the bombing.
Right. Anupam Mishra with the latest coming in with regard to how there were bombs that were hurled at each other's groups, remember. And we'll try and get you more details on that after a very short break. All right, time for a very quick break, but when I return, I bring you the latest on the SCO meeting. Remember, the meetings are on, bilateral meetings, different countries, but now there has been a twist as well. And the twist is, it's an update. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari from Pakistan making an entry into the country. This meeting is set for, and in Goa. Remember the comments that he had made against India and against the Prime Minister. So it's going to be an interesting meeting at the SCO of the foreign ministers tomorrow.
is now the third largest market as far as domestic seat demand is concerned, but we're the 18th largest when it comes to international seat demand. How soon do you see that change? A lot of Indians still using routes in the Middle East and elsewhere as they travel abroad. How soon do you see India becoming an international player in the aviation?
So we're the third largest market domestically. We're the seventh largest market internationally at 60 million. You combine the two, domestic and international, we're today the fourth largest market. By next year, we will beat the United Kingdom and become the third largest market across the world. We've already gone ahead of the UK in terms of our economic growth numbers. The fact is that we were the 11th largest economy in 2013-14. We're today the 5th largest economy. We put the UK behind us. Those people that had a dream of ruling our country, today we're ahead of them economically, and we've got a diaspora who's actually today the Prime Minister of the UK. And that talks to our potential in terms of us as a people across the world. We are going to become the third largest economy by 2030, breasting Japan and Germany. And a similar growth rate you're going to see in the area of civil aviation.
With the ongoing SCO summit meetings in the country, India is now gearing up for the foreign ministers meeting. This is going to be very interesting because making an entry into India now is Pakistan's Foreign Affairs Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. An intense showdown is likely expected between India and Pakistan. This, remember, with regard to expectedly Bilawal will want to rake up the Kashmir issue as well. This will be the first meeting by any top government officials from Pakistan since 2014. Along with that, eyes, of course, will be on the Chinese Foreign Minister, King Zhang, as well. Indian and Chinese foreign ministers will likely hold bilateral talks during the meeting. All of this, remember, comes amid high tensions between New Delhi and Beijing over the Arunachal border issue as well. India will also hold bilateral meetings with other key partners, including Russia and Iran. The foreign ministers of 8 nations will fly down to Goa tomorrow, where the SCO meeting is scheduled. All right, I'm heading into a very short break. Let's bring you some other news as well and some special conversations. Nikhil Naz in conversation with Chirag Shetty and Satvik Siraj. They are the champion shuttlers, and we bring them to you about what does this achievement, their struggle and more means. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for this conversation coming up.
Air quality today. In Delhi, 188. In Mumbai, 66. In Kolkata, 1979. In Bangalore, 74. In Chennai, 62. In Hyderabad, 29.
Why does this happen? Let me tell you the science behind it.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today Newsmo.
Okay, joining me is a pair that have made it a habit now of making records, whether it was at the Thomas Cup, followed by the Commonwealth Games, World Championship, whatever they've done, they've been the first ones to do that. And now they are the current Asian champions, the first Indian pair to do that, and the first Indians to get a medal at the Asian Championship after a long gap of 58 years. Joining me is Satvik Sairaj and Chirag Shetty. Thank you so much for speaking to India Today. Chirag, let me start with you. Firstly, has it sunk in? You're Asian champion. I mean, many would say that being Asian champion in badminton is as good as being world champions.
Rightly so. I think badminton is mostly dominated by the Asians, like you said. It feels surreal, to be honest. I think as athletes, we really want to win at these big events, and I'm happy that an Indian won it almost after 58 years. I hope the coming years we have many more Asian champions. But to answer your question, it feels surreal.
Okay. What about you, Satvik?
For me, it will take time to think like we are champion. Like even after winning final point, I was thinking, is there one more set to play? So it's not like I was really in the zone. I was thinking like, kuch to hai aur kuch to hai. Something like it's not fulfilled, something kind of thing. So there is much more there. So slowly, for me though, it will take definitely time. Even for the Thomas Cup, even still I was in some zone when I think, okay, jita kya kabhi, really, okay, it happened. Okay, so for me, it will take time. So yeah.
Chirag, let me also talk to you about the crowd support in Dubai. Did that play a role? Did it almost feel like you could be anywhere in Lucknow, Delhi, Hyderabad, someplace with the way the crowd came out in large numbers?
I think for the past, the semi-finals and the finals day, the stadium was packed, and it was majority of the crowd was of the Indian community. So I think to have that kind of support in the stadium, it actually felt like we were playing back home in India. It could have been Mumbai, it could have been Delhi or Lucknow, like you said. So I think it played a major role, especially in the finals when we were down 13-7. To have that kind of support, it really helped us to win that title, to come back and win that title.
The only thing I personally missed was that there were no shirtless celebrations this time around, like the one that happened in Thomas Cup. I remember interviewing you after that, and you said the first thing when you Googled after that win, it wasn't, Chirag and Satvik have won the Thomas Cup. The first Google search was your celebration and comparison with Saurav Ganguly. Was that one of the reasons you thought, no more celebrations like that, let the focus be on us winning the title and not my celebrations?
No, actually I did, but I didn't celebrate with throwing my t-shirt off, but I fell down on court. But eventually I just removed my t-shirt and then threw it into the stadiums. So it was probably not recorded because it was quite in the very end of it. But it's kind of stuck with me now after a major events final. I think I do it quite often now. After a major event final, I take my shirt off.
So I just want to go to the specific. You were trailing by a game, and then at one stage in the second game, 4-10, 7-13. So that comeback, is it fair to say that, in the past, you guys may have most likely lost the match from there. So in that sense, apart from that historic goal, this Asian Championship final is a turning point in your career, much calmer now, the two of you, you'd say?
Yes, definitely. I mean, when we are down, I was thinking like there is a hope. Like I was deep down, there is a feeling like jeetenge. Like we'll win it. Like just a strike matters, and even everything is favorable in the sense like I feel so much positive on the stadium. So many people cheering for us. Everything is going just like one strike, we are only not playing. Just, I mean, we aren't like 100% there compared to semi quarters, how we played throughout the tournament. Just a rhythm here and there, then 1-2 points here and there. Then I think we'll get a chance. So when I got service, I was saying like 2 points here, then again Chirag service आएगा, उधर 3 point, फिर मेरा service. So I was calculating all these things in my mind, like अंदर तक लेके जाना है, डीप तक, क्लोज रहना है, 16-15 भी चलेगा, 16-12, 16-14 भी good score है when we are down also, like one strike here and there, and we have much experience to play in that pressure situation because we had played Thomas Cup finals, that was more pressure, and Commonwealth Games finals, that was more pressure. All those final matches we have played, so we are kind of experienced in that pressure situation to control ourselves, calm down, just be on the court, like focus what you have to done on the court.
Could you tell us a bit of a role that Matthias Bo has played, especially in I know you're a very high energy pair whenever I see you on court. How much of a role has he played in making you a bit more mature, making you guys a bit more calm on court, especially in tense pressure situations?
Having him, I think